I kid you not when I say this is the best way to improve in Fortnite. There's been so many practice maps all throughout time that I've grinded to get better. And about a month ago, I released my own practice map. When I released it, I said every so often we're going to be releasing updates to the map so it gets better over time. Well, we didn't just give it an update. We just made it 10 times better. In this video, I'm going to be walking you through the drills, explaining to you how they work and how you can improve with them super fast. We're going to start out by going to the right here, to the brand new Rapid Piece Control drill. When you enter this, you have an option off to the side to choose the speed at which the enemy shoots you. That's right, if you set up a bad peek, the enemy is going to punish you for it. In this drill, you get flown into random piece control scenarios, but this is different than most piece control maps for a couple reasons. First off, when you get flown into the drill, you have to immediately react and block the angle of the enemy. As you can see, you just get rapidly fired into drill after drill, and what I recommend doing is don't just spam build when you get into the drill. Try to wait to build until you see where the enemy is and try to flick to block that shot. It's tempting to just spam walls once you spawn in, but if you do what I'm saying and build once you see the enemy, it could help you build faster reaction time. The second thing you should be doing in this drill to improve is practice piece controlling from behind a right-hand peak, because obviously if you expose yourself while piece controlling the enemy, it's gonna tag you just like in a real game. Somebody might pre-fire you. So get behind those right-hand peaks when you're piece controlling the enemy to build those good habits. And then of course, set up the best peak possible when taking your shots and practice those wall resets. That way you don't take damage from the enemy while doing this drill. Master all of those things and I'm telling you, your piece control, peaks, reaction time will all get better. But let's go back to the hub and see what else we got here. The next drill is the Reactive Tunneling drill. This one's not new, but let me show you real quick how to do it because some people were confused. At the start, follow the circle until the arrow appears. Once the arrow appears, it's telling you where the next box you should build should be. So when it turns to a right arrow, that means stop what you're doing and turn right. It can be a little bit confusing at first, but like watch how I'm doing it. I don't follow the circle, I follow the arrow. Keep your eyes ahead on the arrow and not on the circle and you'll get better at it. I definitely recommend trying to get this down to the point where you can do it perfectly on hard mode. But let's head on to the next drill, and this is where things start to get crazy. This drill was a thing before, but we made it so much better. First off to the left, we added more speed options. So if you're trying to learn new retakes, you can start on the slowest option, move to the second slowest, and then get your way up to the normal speed. This will help you build muscle memory when learning new build moves. But if you want to build your reaction time even better, you can head to the faster options. But the big thing that we changed in this drill is we added a hard mode, where now the enemy will shoot at you if you're exposed, just like in the piece control drill. But wait, there's more. It doesn't just shoot you when you're up close, it will shoot you from any distance. So that means you have to constantly be doing protective retakes. Practice blocking the angle of the enemy as you build towards them. Once you kill one bot, box up, look for the next, and do a protective retake up to that bot. You can play with hard mode off, but I personally think playing with hard mode on is really useful. Try to get all the way to the top of the map without taking any damage, and this will help your retakes, your piece control, your peak shots, everything. Next up is the thing we spent the most time on improving. We now have an aim hub with 4 drills rather than just one. The first drill on the right is our initial aiming drill, where we have targets in the long distance where you can practice tracking, and there's static ones that are one shot for practicing like flick shots. Let me give you some advice to get the most out of this drill. First of all, the MK is going to be your best bet for getting high scores. And this is honestly really good practice for surge training. I typically run it with the MK, but I do recommend running it with other guns like the SMG or the flapjack rifle, or even a pistol. That way you can get practice with tap firing. One of the most important skills for like tracking someone out of the sky is being able to hit those tap shots. Wait for the crosshair to shrink, take the shot. Wait for it to shrink again, take another. So this is a really good drill to build up that technique. The next drill is an amazing one for practicing flick shots. For all these drills, there's a challenge mode and different speed options. Just check the box inside the drill to turn on challenge mode. But as you can see, this drill just throws a bot into your box. And if you hit a perfect headshot, you get +1. So play the challenge and let me know what kind of scores you're getting on these drills. I'm curious. Another little tip is that you can also put a cone in your box, and that will help you not just practice flicking on your lair, but they might spawn lower on the cone than you, and you have to practice adjusting to the height. Like if you're on a flat floor door, you're always just going to have your crosshair pointed horizontally. But if you set up a cone, then you'll have to flick slightly up and downwards depending on where you're positioned. The next drill is our own version of aim duels. The cool thing about this drill is it'll keep track of all the shots you take, whether it's a hit or a miss. And at the end of the challenge, it'll calculate your accuracy percentage. So you can practice this with a bunch of different guns and keep track of your accuracy scores and try to beat it the next time you do it. This drill is fire because it honestly requires more accuracy than doing like a normal aim duels with another player. You can imagine the orb is the opponent's head and you're tracking it all over the place, and you gotta stay perfectly precise. And now the final aim training drill is a survival drill. The way it works is the orbs are gonna continually spawn in, and you need to try to survive as long as possible. As soon as there's 10 orbs on your screen, the challenge is over and you lose. So unlike most aim training drills, this is gonna force you to keep on going fast for a long period of time. And as soon as you start to slack, you're done. The combination of all these drills will give you up close tracking, far range tracking, flick shots, everything. And we're probably gonna add even more drills soon, so stay tuned. There's 2 more drills in the map which we also made updates to. We got the headshot box fight map, which was already a drill, but we added difficulty options. So on the harder mode, you gotta set up even more optimal peaks. One of the best things to do in this drill is just try to get like 10 in a row, and you can't leave it until you get 10 straight. That'll force you to really start training your peaks even better, because every time you set up a bad peak, it's like, oh man, I gotta keep on running this until I get it right, which is discipline training, you know? And the final drill is the guided free build section. We added the different speed options in here as well, but the big change that we made, which is honestly a pretty small change, but it's huge for the drill. We made it so that at various points, the tunnel shrinks. That way you have to really be focusing on your environment while you're building around. Some people get major tunnel vision on their building and can't really focus on what's going on around them, which is really bad because if you're in a fight and you're too focused on your builds, you're gonna lose track of the enemy. So running this drill can help train your mind to not focus on the builds as much, but focus on what's going on around you. Is the wall about to shrink? Yes, it is. Okay, I gotta redirect my building in that direction. Just like in a game, it's like the enemy's above me. Okay, I gotta redirect my builds in that direction. So like I said, bro, major improvements to the Jivan practice map. I honestly see value in every single one of these drills, so pick a few to run for that day, but make sure you're getting well-rounded practice. Like if your aim's been off, maybe you want to run all the aim training drills. So far we have 2 maps out. You know, we got the practice map, which I just showed you, and the final moving Zone Wars map, which is crazy practice for endgame. It's probably the most fast-paced Zone Wars in existence, and we just made it so that lobbies feel a lot better. When the map first came out, lobbies were like a little bit dead, and it was because of this like setting that we tweaked. But we got rid of that setting. Now lobbies are stacked, so hop into both of these maps and you'll get a great practice. We do have a lot more maps on the way, some that have been recommended and some that I've come up with myself. So trust me, stick around because we got some great stuff coming. Tourneys are about to start back up. I'm getting back on the tutorial grind. I'm gonna have a ton of tutorials coming soon. Let me know down in the comments what kind of tutorials you want to be seeing, and I'll try to pick a few that I think are valid. But for now, hop into the practice maps. All the codes are down below. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.